The problem with these tweets in terms of the suggestion that there are some reports that are out about Tesla that are negative because, quote unquote, mainstream media is owned by fossil fuel companies or big automakers. Guys, you and I have been in this business a long time. I'm not sure I've ever come across a journalist who has said, boy, you know what? It'd be good to do a negative story on Tesla because a particular automaker advertises with it. If there's something that's being inaccurately portrayed or is wrong, by all means, call in today. We'd be happy to put you on the air.
I would prefer to talk about the reporting, and it's up to shareholders to decide whether or not the CEO of a $50 million company should spend his time yelling at reporters on Twitter.
You're more along the lines of Mr. Jackson.
I'm a well-known Tesla skeptic, and
but it keeps defying expectations. You have to give it that.
Somehow it's levitating, and I think it's Elon Musk is the greatest salesman in the world. He paints this vision of an unlimited future, aided and abetted by some analysts who say, I mean, it's like Elon Musk has been beamed down from another planet to show us mortals how to run a company. The fact is, it's a constant cash drain. They're highly dependent on federal government and state incentives for money, which constantly flows in. They have capital raises all the time. Even the high-end cars that they build now cost more to build than they're able to sell them for. Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, GM, Audi, and Porsche are all coming out with 300-mile electric luxury sedans. I think they're doomed. Unless somehow the laws of you have to have more money coming in than going out.
They're a startup, though. They're not a startup.
What does doomed mean?
Their startup.
Their stock price comes in, they go out of business, they have regular competition like other companies. What do you mean by doomed?
So at some point, see, their upside on pricing is limited because everybody else sells electric vehicles at a loss to get the credits to be able to sell the sport utilities and the pickup truck. So that puts a ceiling on your possible pricing. And if he can't make money on the high-end Model S's and Model X's, which sell, you know, up to $100,000, how in the world is he going to make money on a $35,000 small car? Because I have news for you, 42 years of experience. The cost of a car doesn't come down proportional to its size.
No, that's true. But
so Bob Nardelli, do you see any possible way that this works out for Tesla? Keeping in mind that they're not just about cars now. They changed their name from Tesla Motors to Tesla. They've got these in-home batteries. They've got solar panels on the roofs now, buying Solar City. I mean, sometimes the stock price and the fundamentals end up coming in line.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's an honor to be on set with all of you, but more importantly, an icon in the auto industry, my good friend Bob Lutz here. So listen, I would take, let me take the other side of that comment that Michael Jackson made. I don't think this is a Ponzi scheme. Here's what I do think. I do think Mary Bauer and General Motors is woefully underrated relative to the performance and what she's brought to this industry. She took a hard line on quality. You know, she stood tall and has raised the bar for the auto industry back to the consumer warranty with the ignition key and so forth. She is continuing to drive the reliability, the durability of the GM fleet. And of course, Bob had set the tone over there relative to design and aspirational gratification for the consumer. So I think more than focusing on Tesla, I would say GM is woefully underrated. I think General Motors, Mary it should get a lot more credit than she's getting today. And I think Bob makes an interesting point. If you think about what President Trump is doing with CAFE standards, I'm not sure the electric vehicle is going to give you the offsets that no longer will be required as a result of this phenomenal demand for SUVs and trucks. Remember, the highest margin. If you look at Fiat Chrysler, 90% of the operating profits come from Jeep, and the Ram truck. If you look at Fiat Chrysler,
On Tesla, I just want to get back to you on this. In terms of cash burn, yes, they're burning a lot of cash, but they're in startup mode, and the trajectory at which they burn cash theoretically won't be the same. They won't have to continue building a gigafactory infinitum. They won't add on new production lines. In terms of subsidies, most of the people who reserve a Model 3 are doing that without any government subsidies because they run out, and they're still willing to buy that car.
We'll see.
I mean,
we'll see. We'll see. But if you have a situation where the cost of producing a car, labor and materials, is higher than your sell price, your business model is flawed, and it's doomed, and it's going to fail. And I will guarantee the only difference, the reason for this inflated stock, because Elon Musk said, oh, but look at my solar, look at Solar City, look at the panels, look at the battery plant. The battery plant, in my estimation, is a joke. There are no cost savings by making a lithium-ion plant bigger than other people's lithium-ion plants, because making lithium-ion cells is a fully automated process anyway. So whether you've got full automation in a small building or 10 times full automation in a big building, you're not saving any money. And Solar City, we know, is a disaster. So to answer Bob Nardelli, what GM should do, GM should say, we're not gonna colonize Mars because that would be copying Tesla. We're going directly for Neptune and Saturn.